Hey everyone, this is the conversion group for digital experience, and this is our sprint plan sync meeting. Yeah, I'll share my screen and kind of go down the list. I'll start with Jess, and I'll get my screen shared.
All right. There is one issue on here that's not on here yet, which is for the new commit event, and that's going to be top priority. I just don't have the issue yet, so just look out for that. uh, sorry. Y Premium and Y Ultimate are going to be closed out by noon, so you guys can take them on. Thanks for bearing with us, getting that stakeholder feedback. And then if you can scroll down, there's a couple things at the bottom. These moving the learn more links within the pricing page somewhere else so we can A/B test it. And then also adding these lead capture forms onto the ROI calculator so we can also A/B test that. Those are some smaller things that I'll be taking on the sprint in order to like set us up for A/B tests, possibly maybe next sprint or something like that.
And then, sorry, Jess.
No, go ahead.
Can maybe just add some more clarity for commit. I think it should be in the open column now. I just created the issue. So I just met with the commit folks this morning, so it's like very fresh off the presses. But basically, we need to get a commit landing page for registration up by July 20th, but more like July 18th, just so we have a couple days of buffer. We do have an event template as far as I'm aware, so just using that, and then there might be some minor changes we'll need to make, but Jess can help with the design of that, and then hopefully we can get one engineer kind of assigned to that work, whoever has capacity this iteration. But because it is like a company-wide event, it will take priority over basically anything else that that engineer is working on. And then the commit folks will be the one with all the content, images, etc. And it'll likely be very iterative, as in like we'll have a bit of information right now, and then we'll just get more information as the event comes closer. So it'll be quite a bit of work there. And then also just for clarity, I totally understand that this is not conversion related, but this is kind of more in that fourth group that hasn't fully been defined. So Jess had a bit of capacity, and she was generous enough to like volunteer her support here. So ideally we just keep it within conversion, and one of the engineers here can pick it up if they have capacity.
So what you're saying is Jess put our group on the chopping block. Awesome.
Basically.
Yep.
I was going to also bring up kind of Jess, and Megan will probably touch on this, and hers is that with Margaret kind of being on vacation out-ish, Megan might help with some of the release post updates. So some of that might transition over to her, depending upon actually now with this event, we'll kind of see how things shake out.
Mm-hmm. And then the issue should be in that open column, but if it's not there, I can figure that out. I just called it commit something or other. Maybe I messed up something, but I will send you the link. And then I also just created an epic because I think there'll be more events or pages from commit. I just put it in the Zoom chat, but
okay. Do you want to move on, or do you want to? Okay, Tyler.
Yeah, people who are tuning in week to week will notice my column looks almost exactly the same, with an important distinction that the second item there is now in the doing status. So the content security policy is in really good shape. The merge request is in. I've passed one round of review. We've also passed security review. So up next has to go to the maintainer review before merge. In the intervening time while all of those reviews were happening, it started breaking pipelines. I made no code changes. This is just the nature of working with a product. Sometimes the ground moves underneath your feet. So I need to fix whatever's broken in the pipeline. I'm looking at it right now and it doesn't look too bad. So this should be merged in like today or tomorrow, or it'll be ready for maintainer review today or tomorrow. And hopefully they will get around to it today or tomorrow and merge it in. We'll see. That's almost done. It's not 5 points. It's like 1 or 2 points of wrap up work. And then because I'm sort of done with that, I'm going to get started on this data layer events for SaaS trial flow. There's actually like 6 things in there, maybe 7. There's like a bunch of different like smaller items, all of which I'm going to do sort of one at a time to see if I can get the merge requests to go through a little bit faster. There's also, it seems, I think a few things are already done. So that will probably take up most of this week and some of next week for me. And then once I'm there, I'm going to try and get my customers .gitlab.com development environment set up. This is I think I'm on vacation at the right after this sprint. I think I have like a full sprint and then I'm out. So I don't want to like start anything that people are going to be relying on me for, because I'm going to be out for like 3 weeks. So my plan here is really just like wrap up those top 2 items and then get started on the bottom 2, and hopefully come back after my longer vacation sort of like ready to go on whatever's next. So I think that's it.
Yeah, for my empty column, wanted to bring that up. I've been watching the backlog and there hasn't been much except for that Y ultimate, which I knew was blocked. Speaking with Justin, it sounds like this might be split into smaller parts. I'm not sure. And then mentioning Margaret's issues, I didn't want to just assign myself to those unless, Justin, you had the conversations you needed to. I didn't want to just jump into something, but happy to grab the commit website issue, but I know that's kind of blocked until we have a design. So should I just assign myself to those release post issues now? Or is this a further discussion?
No, you can assign them right after this. We have our product marketing group, and I can't remember if she's out tomorrow or if today is when she is left for vacation. Either way, you can assign yourself to those and then kind of get familiar with where she was and the issues that are still open, and kind of go from there. And then, like I said, depending upon with the commit thing, we can kind of shuffle those around as this iteration plays on.
Okay, well, I've assigned myself those now, but I'll maybe grab that commit one once it's good to go.
Gabby?
Yeah. So this situation, I am waiting still on the white premium. It's almost done, and it's just waiting for the stakeholders' approval. I already got like a sneak preview of what the design will be, and I've been looking over which components we might need. And I think I will be working on that this sprint. It might be too little. It depends on which route we go. If we want to update stuff in Slippers, or if we want to just do it on the buyer experience repository. So I guess I'll know later on if this is going to grow or if it's just going to stay like enough for the sprint. I also have my Gem 3 typography updates, which are on hold, I think, for this week. I would like to get some clarity on if it's on hold for this week or if it's going to get pushed this week or what is exactly the status of that one, because it's just an update on mainly on the font sizes, which affect everything on the site. So I might do some QA for that, or I don't know if somebody else will do some QA for that, but that's how my sprint's looking like.
Question for this typography, Gabby, why, or like what's putting them on hold?
As I understood it, is that the font sizes like grew significantly for some headers, which might look funky in some of the site. And there are some Slippers updates coming, I think with the buttons and stuff. And Tyler said it was not Nathan, and said that it was not the best moment, I think.
Yeah, I can expand on that too. I agree with Nathan. I sort of flagged this to him. the typography changes are substantial. If you go into the merge request, Justin, I don't know if you can quickly find that. I put a screenshot of just like 2 headers side by side. But basically, like it's probably that result. If you scroll up or up, resolve related merge request, resolve Gem3 typography updates. And I think I've got a comment down in this thread. But yeah, so like that's gonna move a bunch of stuff around. Might be fine. You know, we've built a lot of things to sort of like be responsive to text sizes. Like some things are spaced in size in M values, which should move around as font size changes, but like it's not always 1-to-1. And so I flagged this back to design, and I also flagged this to Nathan. Like these changes, along with other slippers changes, it's just gonna like open us up to weird stuff happening on the website that we didn't expect. And so what I was hoping we could do is like pump the brakes for a second. Like either we pump the brakes or we just ship it and we say like, we're okay with stuff looking weird, right? And then we just fix those one off. So I think those are the 2 things of like, let's either pump the brakes and like thoroughly go through a review app to see what the impacts are, or we just ship it and like make sure we're ready with capacity to fix whatever breaks.
So that first option, when can we be at that place to like when once we make the changes and then it's in the review app? Like, are we at that point yet?
Yeah, I think it's done. Gabby's work is done. This is like Gabby has done the thing. Like it was mostly just changing values, right? But like substantially changing those values. So all that to say, I think it would be prudent for us to merge this in, get it into slippers. Nathan has a release cycle going, so we might be a day or 2 out from that being like totally ready. But once slippers gets like incremented, I think it would be prudent for us to open up a review app with the new slippers changes, including this, and then do some regression testing.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Jess, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that's fine. I also just want to let Gabby know it might not have been obvious in the updates, but we did adjust the kerning, which is the spacing between the letters as well, and the line height. So I just want to make sure that everything, not just the size of the type, but the size of the line height and the size of the space between the letters got adjusted.
Yeah, I adjusted the line height for sure. Now the spacing between letters, I did not see that. I'll look it over just to make sure that it's the correct one then.
Yeah, I can touch base with you on Slack or something about it. We didn't, yeah, it wasn't obvious, so I wouldn't expect you to catch it at all. But we should definitely make that adjustment because that will also like decrease, you know, the sizing a bit, even though it's bigger. So call that one out.
Sure, thanks.
Okay, sweet. So then Gabby, I guess like once it's ready and in the review app, could you just let Jess and I know so then we can like start QAing it from a design perspective?
Yes, sure.
Okay, cool.
Avis?
Okay, it's my turn. First of all, I did to the test file little update, but I'm not sure if I need to open an issue or only make a merge request. It's a small improvement for the test for a method. So open an issue, merge.
Yeah, open an issue, then create the merge request.
Okay, so that I need to open that issue, and this is the scroll behavior. So this is a means function. This is a bad behavior that I detect that the problem is when it's a new click of the hash, when the hash is very fresh, because when you click the link enter in the second time, when there are the same enter in the URL, these work as is expected. So there are some timing I'm not sure if the DOM, the URL detection, that's what I need to work on that. And I'm not sure what more to do for this sprint.
Yeah, I think when Gabby, when we discuss like the Y Premium page and or Y Ultimate, if there are some things we can split out to, if depending upon which way we go, if we're going into slippers or if we're going to build it in Badger's repo, we might split out some smaller issues for obviously you can either create components or help Gabby to build the pages themselves.
Yes,
Okay.
I think if we move the thing from slippers, we were talking about the cards a couple of sprints ago, and that's a ton of work, but needs refinement, so we might have enough for a while.
Okay, and that will be as independent issues, or do I only support Gabby as pairing programming, or
A little of both. It'd be independent issues that help support Gabby. Wouldn't necessarily be pairing, but it'd be you. If it's a new component build, you would have all the specs that Gabby needs for her page, and you would build that component that then she can use to her page as she's building other components to build the overall page structure.
okay? And that's it, I think.
Dennis?
All right, I'm up. GA4, one trust consent mode, that one is enabled by Jameson. I'm still waiting on the GTag code update on each subdomain. We have it live for docs.gitlab, but the other ones are still pending. I think we have an MR for about.gitlab, so I'm hoping that one can go live sometime this week. And that kind of is like a domino effect on other tasks that I'm working on. So e-commerce, I have that set up on Tag Manager, but I just need that GTag code live in order to fully test it out. Same with configuration. Custom events, I'm like 2/3 way done. I still have to do tags for form submissions and scrolling, video views, things like that. Those other two are on Tyler. Can you scroll down a bit? For that one, the partner site, can I remove that or close it out, Justin? Or do you want to keep it on? It's the one that the one trust code.
I was gonna say that I'm gonna finish that up this week, so it wasn't done just yet
Oh, okay.
because I was out a lot of last week, and so that should be finished up here today or tomorrow. Then I'll close it out.
Sweet. And then the last one, I caught a tracking error on Friday, so I'm gonna do a full scan of the website to see if it's on other pages first, and then I'll assign it to you, Justin.
Okay.
Aside from that, I'm working on analysis for each group. We have one for product marketing tomorrow, and then conversion is next week. And then towards the end of this sprint, I'm going to start on the post redesign analysis, which is the same analysis that I'm doing, but extending that date for our group convo on July 28th. That's it.
All right. Phil, do you have anything else?
Nope. I'll end the
Like,
recording. Oh, sorry.